West African States, Ecowas, has convened another extraordinary summit of the authority on the political situation in the Republic of Niger. The summit will hold in Abuja on Thursday, August the 10th, 2023. The Ecowas leaders will be considering and discussing the political situation and recent developments in Niger during the summit. And earlier we had in the studio an international affairs analyst, Dr. Garba Nguru, who spoke on the development in Niger Republic as ECOWAS deadline expired. We started by asking him his opinion on what should be ECOWAS' next line of action. Here is an excerpt.
I think the ECOWAS body is doing the right thing. For ECOWAS to allow the junta to continue in its own movement, I think it is going to be like a mockery to the ECOWAS body entirely. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not only the leader of ECOWAS, it's not only the leader of Nigeria, he is as well the leader of Africa. You see, this is an elected government in Niger that is toppled. It happens in Africa 1, 2, 3 times. It is a threat to our democracy. I think it is not quite long that we had the same issue in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea. So the ECOWAS are just being mocked like a toothless bulldog. So they have to come out with their full force and show their power. Despite there is yearning from the general public that dialogue is more better than the military intervention, I think the ECOWAS is not that it is overstretching its bounds. No, it is not overstepping their bounds. They are trying to do what is right. You know, every day in Africa we have the problem of toppling the democratically elected government, today here, tomorrow here. It is a very big threat to our democracy entirely, not only in West Africa, entirely in African countries. So the ECOWAS is a body that is there to make sure they take care of all the interests of West African countries. So if ECOWAS will just give a chance and be looking at something like this happening in Africa tomorrow, it is a very big threat to entire African democracy. So I think the ECOWAS body, chaired by the President of the Republic of Nigeria, I think they are doing the right thing. But at this particular point, if there is any other medium, the ECOWAS can come up with a dialogue. I think it's another medium to resolve the crisis. Instead of, agitating more crisis, you can use crisis to solve another problem. So this is a problem in African countries that ECOWAS need to handle with, I think, iron hand.
Dr. Ngulu, you're saying that dialogue is the best option. Now, the junta has closed the airspace and alleged that foreign powers are planning an attack. How would all these be affecting the ordinary people of the Niger Republic?
Definitely, if you look at the Niger Republic now, there is a lot of problems. Number one, I think there is a cut-off by the ECOWAS. I think all transaction and financial transaction between African countries and Niger Republic. That is number one. Number two, prices, I think, of commodities in Niger, they are complaining. If you look at the media today, everything is going up, I think, by 100%, all because of this problem. Number two, this border closure, Niger, they rely on neighboring countries' ports. They don't have a port of their own. I think they transport most of their things through the neighboring country like Niger and Benin Republic and Nigeria. So with this border closure, definitely things are becoming more tougher every day by the day. The common people of Nigeria are suffering. I think as of yesterday, they were complaining before a bag of rice is now, I think, about 3 times the previous distance. So if you look at from the Nigerian side, the electricity is up. That's another problem. And also the bilateral relationship there between Niger and so many other countries is affected, which is causing more hardship in the country than before.
So this is actually affecting the masses, but we see some videos showing the masses supporting the military junta. Does this suggest that their wish of the people should be heeded at this time?
Yes, definitely in every government you have your supporters and you have other people that are anti-government. So definitely those that are with the junta can come out and show their own side of their destiny. But what we are talking about now, ECOWAS is not for Nigeria. ECOWAS is not for any other country. It is a body to make sure that they harmonize the African countries together, especially the West African countries. So ECOWAS, I think at this point, they have more voice than I think what we are expecting. Definitely sure the people of Niger Republic must have their own right to show, I think, that whether they are anti or they are for it. But at this point, we have to look at both sides. The people of Niger Republic and then the ECOWAS as well.
Yes, I wanted to ask you, as a whole, how does this affect, or what's the implication of this coup for the West African sub-region as a whole?
I think the implication of this coup, if ECOWAS did not make any move to show that they are ready to counter anything like this, it is going to be a mockery on them. Because it happens 1, 2, 3, which make them to look like a toothless bulldog. So definitely sure at this point, I think it is a very big threat to our democracy. And for them to just keep quiet is like it's an approval that this coup in Niger is legitimate, or I can say it's something that they can say is approved. Anyway, and we all know that the entire African countries are having the problem of this threat. I think of recent Sierra Leone has an issue whereby I think there is a move to topple the government. And this, the major problem is that these are democratically elected governments. They are for the people. The same people of that country voted for this government. So for, I think, any other military takeover in Africa, it has been ruled out for a long time. So definitely sure, I think ECOWAS did the right thing, but despite there is still this yearning from the Niger Republic that dialogue is better, because nobody go to anywhere with feasibility studies. There is nobody that can plan a feasibility studies for a war. When you go to a war for today, you don't know for how long it will last. It can be 100 years, it can be 1 day.
In summary, military intervention is not fashionable at this time. We need democracy. Thank you for coming, Dr. Garba Nguru, to NTA International News.
Thank you very much.